Morning, welcome back to the second game of the morning here at the Milnerton High School hockey event. We see Somerset College playing in the red and black up against the Bishop's invitation side. And I'm joined in commentary by Mr. Randall Crisp. And
Good morning, Mr. Kurt. How's things going?
I'm well, thank you, sir. Good to have you here. And,
Great to have you here. Fantastic morning so far. The weather is absolutely perfect.
Yeah, typical Cape Town autumn weather, long weekend weather.
I think the wind will pile up later as a stick goes flying there. The Somerset College side, they played the last match last night against the Paul Roos Gymnasium squad,
Yeah,
going down 1-0, I believe. And I believe Coach Mick Overkerk has a few plans for the side for this year, and I think this is a nice start to their season.
yeah. So Randall, just also very chuffed to see Mick, joining the Somerset College ranks, and will probably add a lot of value in terms of his philosophies and coming in as someone new at Somerset College. Be interesting to see. The first time I'm watching this team play, what sort of structures they're looking at.
Somerset College side have always been a dark horse in the Boland leagues. You never really know what they are capable of, and they are a competent side. And this team is captained by Tiago Marx, with the Bishop's team coached by Mr. Maliki and captained by Louis Hart today. They have three captains, so a nice way of just exposing each player to responsibilities of leadership.
Yeah, I know for sure. And we just go back to the coaching side of things. Coach Maliki Barber is a provincial men's player, also incumbent UCT men's first team captain and Bishop's old boy. So quite nice to see him coaching as well. Interesting to see what he brings to the party in terms of his structures that he has in place for this team.
I believe there's the first circle entered by Somerset College in first PC.
Yeah, Somerset probably in the last 2 minutes they seem to been bossing the position just in terms of their build up. Bishop's looking at more sort of a counter style early on in the game.
A big thanks to Rothmans GOODWOOD, uniform supplier since 1936, sponsoring this PC attack. Going a little bit wayward, but still getting it off, and good save by goalkeeper Louis Hart. Excuse me, Craig Reed.
Yeah, so
Craig Ressel, apologies.
not very accurate in terms of the injection there, but the Somerset College still managed to get a shot going goalward. Missed opportunity for a turnover. Bishop's able to get the ball into the opposition half.
Yesterday we saw quite a few of the squad struggling with injections and with getting the flicks off. And only one team was actually making use of water bottles at the push-out line. The old trick that always works.
Quite interesting to hear you say that, Randall, because I would think that coaches who've been around would probably tell their players this is a sand-based pitch and it's not really winter in the Cape, so you need those water bottles at the injection spots. Or unless they're just some naughty players that are not doing what they're supposed to.
You know how things go in tournaments.
So Somerset West again. Up. Bishops now slowly starting to come into their own in terms of better connectivity.
And just for a reference for everyone at home, this is the invitational side, Bishop's Invitational. So these will be the younger players looking to find their spot in the first side.
Bishops adopting a half court, sitting nice and deep, and the majority of the outlets from the Somerset team.
This will be the first match for the day, and they will have another encounter at 20-2 against, 20-3 against Milnerton, this Bishop's Invitational side. Somerset College will have, I believe this will be the final match for this tournament, so they'll be looking to put some big numbers on the board. Or at least the final match at this venue. This has been quite a fantastically huge tournament with 42 teams, I believe.
That's quite impressive, and like I was saying to Chris earlier, who's very involved in the organisation of the event, it's a lot of teams are looking to play as much hockey as possible in this pre-season phase before the business gets started, season proper, in the start of the second school term. So they see this as an ideal opportunity to work on certain processes, and yeah, not necessarily all about winning right now, but players finding one another in terms of connectivity too, and getting used to potentially sometimes a new coach's philosophies.
AJ and I were speaking yesterday about the expansion of hockey festivals over the years. And back in our days in the 1900s, we basically only had Founders and Ascension, and now we have regional festivals that just make the game so much more accessible to more than just the top 10 schools.
Yeah, no, it's a good thing, Randall, and probably from my side, I'd also like to believe that for the past 2 years, these festivals were almost non-existent because of the first 2 years of the COVID pandemic. It's really nice to see so many young hockey players being involved in these pre-season festivals again. You know, I suppose parents are quite chuffed too. Some of them can be around at certain venues.
Being around and also following live here with ES Media and Fourways Online. Interesting tempo so far.
Yeah, you mentioned the word tempo, and I feel like neither of these teams have really settled and decided to control the tempo of the game. It's been played at quite a frenetic pace. Like to see both teams, rather than just one, just be a lot more controlled. We saw that earlier with the Paul Roos team dictating the tempo. Always looked like they had enough time on the ball. Turnover moment, but the Bishop's defender is an intervention.
The Paul Roos side beating Pineland 6-0 yesterday. It just looked like they were incredibly settled, comfortable, confident, not stressed at all, which is what you want to see in your side. And another standout team yesterday was the Kiro Durmville boys side, also beating Pinelands, I think 7-0. And if we were placing money, oh, nice turnover there, and the Wounded Rabbit finds its way, scored by Nicholas.
Yeah, so quite a bit of good fortune there for Somerset College. Bishops play with an unforced error there, unfortunately, and that allows Somerset College to take the lead. 1-0.
Yeah, something we saw yesterday was the amount of turnovers, unforced errors, missed traps. No basics, just not supporting the players as Bishops almost had their first circle entry, not really allowing players to settle, turn most of the games into scrappy affairs. But when you come up against sides like this who are very well versed in their basics, it does make life a little bit more difficult. Sometimes a lot more difficult.
Yeah, no, for sure. I just think that the players need to. Your first priority for me as a coach is always that you've got to protect possession, maintain possession. Yeah, and it just seems that too many of the younger players are not really staying true to that fundamental. Yeah, Bishop's managing to get the odd ball up into the Somerset West 23 meter zone, but just not getting any sort of outcome.
That off-court press and looking to rely on that counter, something that can work, but everybody needs to be on the same page. Ooh, what a turnover. And they win it back, and back they come.
Yeah, it's been a pattern over the last 5 minutes, double turnovers happening. And like I say, this is why I'd want both teams to settle. Even though Somerset College have gone a goal here, they're still not really settled in terms of the tempo.
I think we also need to, as I always like to do, just send a massive shout out and congratulations to the umpires. Ooh, what a ball. Straight in the D. Lots of time and just finding the foot just outside the D. Umpiring quality has been fantastic this weekend. With today we have Liam Ferguson and Mr. AB on the other side. The distinctive mop of air. Unable to get that ball out, but calls from Coach Mick, keep the ball. Frantic clearance gives him a little bit of time to realign and regroup.
Yeah, interestingly, with Bishops as a defensive approach with this half court, they're allowing the outside channel as well for the Somerset College team. Somerset College team not easily able to exploit that in the wide areas.
Big ball across, finding his man, and that big shot, but unable to.
Yeah, and as we say that, exactly what I spoke about. Big switch there to the left channel, outside channels on the left, nice and open, but no outcome from it for Somerset College.
Ooh, neat intercept in the middle of the park and quick layoff, but again, double turnover, ball lost, and those were potentially 2 goals there for Somerset College. Somerset College placing that striker right in between the 2 deep halves. It cuts that cross ball, but it does leave quite a big gap in the middle of the park.
Yeah, 1 or 2 of the central defenders in the Bishop side looking to play these long-ranging slap passes with this guy. Seems to be working for now.
When they find themselves in the deep, ball lifted and First PC for Bishop's Invitational. And that was quarter 3 passes, one that rolled over the side.
Yeah, so not a lot of build up from the Bishop side in terms of where they actually ended up on the field. It's a very good fortune there for them. And if that's part of the game plan, playing the counter, and for all we know, they could have a very decent penalty corner attacking execution.
Going to the short castle and looking for deflection, I believe, but just going straight to the keeper. And just a little bit scrappy there, but still winning the blow. And easy interception by Somerset College. One almost feels like that was the perfect opportunity for Bishops to put something on the board.
No, for sure. As I said, the penalty corner execution in the first 2 games, just in terms of, hasn't been the best. But yeah, we'll give the players the benefit of the doubt. Pre-season, early days. Somerset with another opportunity.
Yeah, and the Bishops keeper Craig Ressel just
making his physical presence felt there. Okay.
Great management by this defensive squad. Ball finding its way back in, but Bishop's frantic in the clearance.
Ooh.
Yeah, I felt my teeth rattling in my jaw there.
Just under 3 minutes remaining in this first half of this contest involving Somerset College and Bishops. Somerset leading by 1 goal to 0.
That's the pocket we were speaking about earlier, but you need to exploit it efficiently. See, everyone forgot that the whistle had not gone. Another interesting observation that we had yesterday between myself and Uncle AJ was the players who had been playing indoor throughout the indoor season. You could actually spot them on the park. Basics were way different. Passing was hard and accurate. Ball protection was the kind of thing that you expect to see. Do you think that expansion of the indoor leagues could also be great in assisting players in their off seasons?
I won't say so much in terms of assisting. I've always believed it's great for development of close skills. So but also taking nothing away from those players that have had actual stick and ball contact over the summer months because of indoor. So from a hand-eye coordination perspective, they should be a step ahead, I would think. I'd like to believe.
Ooh, almost intercepted there, and Somerset College is weaving their way back out, eliminating 3 players. Sniper takes out one of the college players. Big shots of get it out, but bit of a struggle in that corner.
Yeah, so before going in the halftime break, with under a minute left, if I were coach Malaki Barber right now, I'd probably want to speak to my Bishop's boys. Okay, we're looking to score off a counter or get something, but we need to be a lot more clinical when we launch those counters. It's a case of one pass and then they turn the ball over again. From a Somerset perspective, I'll probably, as Coach Mick Overkirk, looking for the boys to settle in terms of their tempo and capitalize on the opportunities. They've had far more circle entries than the Bishop's group.
Yeah, no, for sure. The discussion about controlling the pace of the game, sometimes when you're speaking to non-hockey people, they believe it's about being quicker. Sometimes you could slow the game down and move more off the ball. And this is a prime example of just expanding the park Half time 1-0. So I guess we'll take a short break and we'll be back in a second.
Welcome back to the second part of the match involving Somerset College and the Bishop's Invitation team. Somerset College currently leading by 1-0. This is the second match of the morning here at Milnerton High School.
Coach Maliki Baba spotting a few areas that he had highlighted to his players that they're not covering. I mean, looking at these two sides, I like to think that they are fairly evenly matched in what we've seen. Okay, the turnovers from one side have been quite a bit higher than the other, but they have been looking for these big expansive passes, connecting a few of them, but then just losing it on the sideline or losing against their own foot, or just simple turnovers. If they can just string 2 or 3 together.
Yeah, and also definitely, cliche, too many soft turnovers, unforced errors, whatever we want to term it.
Ball straight in, and he has space there, and by AB calls the PC.
Yeah, I would have actually expected him to play the advantage there. Because there was a Somerset College player in the far post up in position, but they have a second bite at the cherry. The Somerset College team.
The college team did seem to have a well practiced short corner yesterday. Set up with 2 castles. Interesting to see the different alignments of the flickers. Goes the first castle and
took a deflection there, so 23-meter offensive hit to the college team.
allowed to run the first 5 yards, and unfortunately just rolling it over the baseline. That is could be a little bit disappointing for Coach Mick and Coach Kieran. Also interesting to note about both teams is there's umpire Liam sending a player off, and he had reprimanded him in the first half about the off the ball stuff. Thanks to now Wayne, a cybersecurity specialist.
So Bishop's team now down a player. Ooh. Just under 2 minutes. Somerset College not taking advantage. Turnover.
In situations like this, you want to maintain possession and keep your numbers behind the ball as much as possible.
From the team in the ascendancy, which is College with the play up, they'd want to be looking to get something from this.
Calls for simple passing from Coach Barber and sneaky interception from behind.
Yeah, in the defense of the Bishop's player that had the ball, he was looking for numbers ahead and he just didn't have anything. And another save from the keeper there from a goal shot.
Craig Russell's been quite busy today. We've seen the application of that reverse pass yesterday not being overly effective, with many of the passes being lifted dangerously. Great to see that they are working today.
Could be a Bishop's penalty corner.
Bishop's penalty corner confirmed by umpire Liam Ferguson.
Yeah. So Bishop's running the ball deep from within their own half to launch a counter, and like I said probably about 2 minutes ago, they don't necessarily have the numbers ahead of the ball carrier soon enough if you want to be playing a counter style hockey. But that time, fortunate enough to.
A little bit of inexperience showing there. Need to wait until everyone is safe and the umpire deems the short corner safe to go ahead.
Second PC for Bishops. This time the injection is straight.
Oh, goal on the board.
Yeah, the bit scrappy there, and first time in a long time we've seen the good old straight poke or hit of the top. First wave was in on the action, and we went into second. We see the replay. First wave went into a second and a third phase, and then the easiest of little reverse stick paddles to finish under the keeper. So even Stevens at this point in time. And we have a contest on our hands here now, with scores being tied.
Just confirming that goal was scored by Aiden Dempers. You know, in situations like this, we were speaking about the Bishop squad not looking settled, looking, throwing away easy turnovers, easy ball position. But again, we are in a situation where it's 1-1 and Sunday tails are up and they staying in that 25-yard area. And these two very young coaching staffs, very contrasting styles of coaching.
Yeah, I know for sure. I always maintain, Randall, that everybody is unique in their coaching persona. I would never want one coach to try and emulate the other. Yeah. And Malaki, knowing him as a player and a leader in the UCT setup as well, quite a vocal individual. Nick, a lot more wouldn't say restrained, but a calmer individual.
I think over the years of just knowing coaches, we've always had, good of him to win that one back and throw it away quite easily in the middle of the field. And back Bishops come now. They need to get numbers ahead. Unfortunately, he's not finding an easy pass. Just seems as if player had the opportunity to counter and everyone stopped around him.
For the first time in this match, we see the Bishops team controlling the tempo, stringing a good couple of passes together. And it seems that the Somerset College team now, for some reason or other, are starting to turn over position a lot easier. Don't know if the concession of that goal has affected the psyche in the Somerset College team. Seems like there's been a bit of a drop in the energy levels. There we see that this guy's pass from that central defender again, not finding anybody. Bishop's dropping all the way off, inviting the Somerset College team to step their platform up with the ball.
Almost feel like Bishops could take this game to them.
And that is exactly what they wanted from a Bishop's perspective. Being turned over there on the sideline. Bishop's back in possession. I'd probably like to see the Somerset College become a bit more aggressive in their press.
What a rinse up the middle and finding players, and they have numbers in the circle.
Just looking at that last bit of play there from the Somerset College player just outside the Bishop circle, I think that is probably where Somerset College need to improve a lot more, is in terms of their connectivity in that final third. It was very evident in the first half of the game, even though they won one or two short corners. You see now the press is a lot more aggressive, which is what I had hoped for. We should have a goal shot.
Oh, good save. Yeah, quite interesting that cross ball, the big cross ball across the D, has been intercepted 4 or 5 times already.
Yeah, the crash ball. Yeah, it's just it's a bit of a lottery sometimes.
Speaking of coaching styles, I always remember Coach Jeff Matthews with his super silent method of coaching. We spoke about the creative zone, that last 25. Good interception and big clearance. Ball not finding its way out of the half. Ball finding a connection just outside the D, and he looks for the short corner. 2 defenders on him, and short corner 1.
Yeah, so Somerset upping the ante a bit here. They've sort of come alive again, pegging the Bishops team back deep in their defensive zone. And you alluded to the fact that the Somerset College penalty corner looked like a well-oiled machine yesterday. They've only had one in this game so far. So let's see number 2 if they're more successful this time.
We have Captain Thiago Marks on at first castle and goes to second castle, and clinical finish.
So the Somerset College team regained the lead, and they go ahead by 2-1 against the Bishop's Invitation side. Much improved Bishop's Invitation side in the second half of this game. You see the replay there. Just going to the keeper's right, wide corner, and well executed.
That was scored by Michael de Toy. Quite a neat little finish on that one, and thanks again to Fourways Online. Viewers, if you had seen a discount code pop up, that'll give you 250 Rand off your first order at Fourways Online for anything cooling related, particularly as we have the last few days of heat here in Cape Town. Obviously heating as well, so make use of that. And now just under 7 minutes to go. Game has changed a little bit as college look to up the pace again. We just missed that ball completely. I think just the way that they are coming back at them here is testament to, as you're saying, just upping the ante, upping the pace.
Yeah, the Bishop's team now under immense pressure. You see the high sideline press coming in from Somerset College as well. Bishops would do well to get out of the zone, and they do.
He looks for the big ball, but goes straight to Somerset College stick again.
To the credit of the Somerset West defenders, they have been really good in terms of their interceptions and their marking disciplines. To their credit, and you just saw a fine example of that there. And as we say that, a Somerset College player gets green carded now. So Bishops with a numerical advantage.
And they put another one away.
Yep. Even though they've got a man down, they've still managed to score the third goal of this match. So Somerset College leading the Bishops Invitation side by 3-1 now. What's probably important for me, Randall, is that looking at the processes here is the Bishop side looking to gain good experience and good value from this event, looking ahead to the season. And a bit of a nothing ball there allows Bishops to start with an outlet deep in their own half again.
Just confirmation that goal was scored by Nicholas Reith, scoring with a man down. I'm just going back to that umpire's decision. I mean, both umpires had warned about off the ball play. Very smart of them just to allow play to complete before handing out that card.
So both teams back to a full complement now. Oh. An attempted first time deflection at goal there. Doesn't really work, but the ball hit the defender's foot, so the Somerset College team are awarded another penalty corner.
Just over 3 minutes left. You almost feel like they could convert one more, as we have an exchange of defenders in the Bishop's defensive PC squad.
Yeah, so after success previously, I would probably stick with that routine, go to the same castle if I could.
Does go back, and what a save. A pure clearance by Craig Russell.
Yeah, Russell definitely been the busy of the two goalkeepers in this contest. He's made some really good saves.
And the man of the tournament, Chris Gibson, passing their ball back over the fence. Milnerton ladies first team coach and Milnerton High School local. I feel like they've been making that pass on a dream throughout this matchup. Working this time, but it's been intercepted so many times throughout this match. Could be going into the last 2 minutes. Any standout performances or any standout points you noted so far in this match?
No, I mean, I'm going to say it again is that for both teams, just as a lesson, they need to control the tempo better. Thought through certain phases or patches in the second half of the game, Somerset College had their moments where they seemed to control the tempo, and then we had a period of 2 minutes where Bishops were doing that.
As you say, that Bishops finding their way, Somerset College finding their way back into the Bishops D. Frantic defense to get this ball out, and
then just, sorry Randall, the other point was just in terms of the counter-attacking approach that the Bishops invitation team played. It was important that you have numbers ahead of the ball when you're going to launch those counters. So it could be the conditioning. We know it's still pre-season. Those have still got to work at that if you want to be playing that brand of hockey. Less than a minute remaining in this contest, and Bishops hoping they can get back into the Somerset College circle.
When you look at them string together these big passes, you almost root for them just to get there and get something on the board, and they immediately go back and look to expand. Somerset College happy to sit back and let the clock just run down. Something that many players will learn throughout this tournament. You should not be able to go through someone with the ball. But 3-1 on the board for Somerset College. Great performance from mixed squad. Lots of learning and development in the books there for Maliki Barber squad, but altogether I think it was a fun morning so far for both of them. Ladies and gents, we will join you for the next match, which will be in 10 minutes, and that'll be Kiro Langebaan versus Brackenfell. Don't go away.
Just go quickly.